She never left. That was amazing. Oh man. Okay. So this week has been a fun week. This is why we have live class. This is why we have people. I've been trying to figure out this week what to talk about, because this week for me particularly has been very stressful. It was very interesting when you start off and you're like told you're doing well, you're ahead, great, and then at some point in time you find that you're not keeping up. Oh my God. And then at some point you did great. Like, so there's just this constant back and forth that's been going on that's been causing me so much stress this week. And it's been interesting because, a few weeks ago, I talked to you guys about one of our things being pace over perfection and how I was like, this is stupid. They should not be doing this. And yet this week, I found myself noticing that I needed to try to adopt that philosophy, that me trying to be perfect and learn everything that I could and make sure I knew it the first time was really just causing me so much stress. And then when I'd have these things of like, you're doing great, it's like, oh yay, I'm performing, I'm doing perfect. And then, oh, you're not keeping up. Oh my God, I'm not being perfect. And then great, you're doing great. It's like, it took me on this roller coaster ride. And so I started to think about how often our sense of contentment is based upon something that's external. And how often it's like trying to strive for something that's perfect when really we just got to keep pace. Tom Stoppard is one who in Arcadia, he talks about you just have to, he's a playwright. You just have to take one step and another because life is just this constant forward march, and you can't get caught up in just trying to grab on to control and make everything perfect. But the best that we can do is just be human, breathe, and know that it'll be okay. So today we're going to work on being human. We're going to work on breathing, and we're going to work on trying to accept that it will be okay. Yep, we're going to see how that goes.
Give yourself a gold star. Someone else giving you a gold star.
Yeah, we do. And I think so for those of you who can't hear this at home, Roberta said we have to work on giving ourselves a gold star, because this perfection is usually externally driven. It doesn't really have so much to do with me or what I'm wanting to do. It's like, oh, did I get my gold star today? Did you say I did a great job? Yay. You didn't? Oh no, I'm gonna cry. So I cried this week lots of times. So we're gonna start today in child's pose. I know, so sad. But I would like you to have child's pose with both of your blocks. And so we're going to use the blocks at the top of our space. And you've got two choices. You can sort of angle them in if your shoulders are a little wider, or just keep them completely parallel towards each other. And I want you to first start by scooting pretty close to your blocks, just so that we can know where we need to put our arms. And then you'll put one elbow and then the other elbow, and then notice if you need to adjust. Do you need to turn them in a little bit or just leave them? And then from there, start to walk your pelvis back. Let your sit bones sit onto your heels, and then maybe crawl your elbows forward. From there, press the palms in towards one another. And then you can choose to stay here or lightly press the palms into each other and draw them towards the nape of your neck. And as you continue to do this, I'd like you to notice what you notice. First of all, where is the body? Can you feel the shins, the toes onto the floor? Can you feel the elbows pushing down and forward into the blocks? And then notice the lift of the armpits. Notice the press of the palms, and notice what's happening in the shoulder blades. Can you allow the heart to melt towards the floor? And then all the while, as all these external things are going on with your body, where is your breath? Do you notice how the breath is moving in and out? And then can you start to consciously direct the breath, taking a big inhalation through the nose and perhaps an audible exhalation out of the mouth? Yeah, but we'll just take two more like that. Big, big breath in through the nose. Big, big breath out of the mouth. And last time, big breath in and big breath out. Nice job, guys. From here, start to tone the back of the throat. Find a slight, gentle Ujjayi pranayama. And very gently, you'll start to shift your attention to just anchoring it on the breath, letting the breath be consistent as it comes in, letting the breath be consistent as it goes out. The next time you breathe in, you'll start to shift your weight forward. Remove the blocks from underneath your elbows and bring your palms to the mat. If you need to, you'll shift your knees back so you're at a tabletop position, and then start to turn your fingertips out to the right and to the left, and continue to turn them until the fingertips point back towards your knees. From here, maybe separate the hands about a little outer shoulder distance apart. Curl both sets of toes under. And then you'll inhale and come forward just an inch, and exhale, slide your bum back towards your heels. And you've got about 4 of these. So inhaling, coming forward, and exhaling, shifting back. And as you take these last 2, you're just observing how, as you go back, there might be a gentle stretch on the backs of the wrists. And again, we're bringing our awareness to the internal experience that we're having. So no gold stars are needed from me. It's more about what you are experiencing in your own internal space, so that you can give yourself your own gold star for learning to trust in the person that is on your mat. Next time you come forward, pause there for a moment, take a big breath in. As you exhale, round through the spine, draw your tailbone down, your chin to your chest, and then inhale, pull the hands isometrically back, arch through the spine, lift the gaze, lift the tail. And you've got 4 of these. So exhaling, rounding through the spine, pressing wide into your thumbs, pressing down into the shin bones. Inhale, pulling the hands isometrically back, articulating through the spine. Awesome sauce. You've got 2 more just like that. And you can always keep your wrists in the normal orientation if you'd like. This just feels, to me sometimes, very nice in terms of opening the wrist. It gets a different part of the upper back, and you're just exploring for you. Now, after you've taken 4 sets of these cats and cows with inverted wrists, by all means, please take 4 to 5 breath cycles, doing whatever feels better to you. So you might stretch the back of the wrists, you might come into a child's pose, you might take a little gentle twist, but you're just allowing yourself to breathe. You're allowing yourself to connect into your ability to keep pace with what your life is asking of you. And this doesn't mean that you need to be steamrolled or, moving at 1,000,000 miles. It just means that you're doing what enables you to completely and totally experience your unique state of being. All right, you've got about 2 more breath cycles doing whatever the heck you happen to be doing. And then once you feel complete with that, you'll go ahead and come to a still neutral spot. Okay, from here, just go ahead and push your pelvis back towards your heels for a moment and come into a child's pose position. For my people that are in person, if you would like a hands-on assist, just lift one of your hands so I have some type of idea. Great. And thank you for that information. Okay, so we're going to take about 4 sets of these. Inhale, let's come forward into a cow-shaped position. As you exhale, curl the toes under, lift your pelvis high, downward facing dog. Nice job. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. And exhale, press back to child's pose. So that's the pattern. The next time you inhale, come forward for about 5 breaths or 5 counts to inhale to little cow shape. And then exhale back to down dog for 5 counts. Nice job. Then you'll inhale again, coming forward, hands and knees, 5 counts. And exhale, press back to that modified child pose, 5 counts. Nice job. You'll repeat that 3 more times. Maybe this time you come up for 6 counts, lengthening the inhalation. And then 6 counts, lengthening the exhalation. And all we're doing now is just connecting with the breath. So staying with that 6 count inhalation to hands and knees. And that 6 count exhalation back to child's pose. And then you've got 2 more sets. The next one might be 7 counts, followed by one at 8 counts. And again, we're trying to just keep pace here, but this time keeping pace with our breath, letting our movement coincide with our breath. The fun thing about our breath is sort of that external, internal metronome of what's happening for us on the internal space. And so as you're moving, you're just noticing what it feels like to honor your own pace, where you don't have to speed too much. You don't have to slow down too much. You're not trying to be perfect for anybody but you. Awesome sauce. And this should be our last set. So after you take this next set, you'll just hang out in downward facing dog for a few breaths. And once you get there, you'll slowly pedal through your feet, bending one knee and bending another. And again, I want you to really pay attention to how the breath is moving through the body, how your hands are connecting into the floor, and how it feels for you to just keep pace for you. There's nothing that has to be changed or manipulated. You are just doing you. Nice work, guys. All right, let's go ahead and come to a still neutral spot. As you inhale, curl your tailbone forward, ripple your spine into plank. Awesome sauce. As you exhale, stay here, push the floor away, press back through your heels and draw your pubic bone to your belly button. Yep. Inhale, bend your knees, keeping the spine exactly as it is. Yep. And then exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. We're going to do that 3 times. So inhale, curl your spine forward, reach back through your heels as you go forward. Exhale, press the floor away, draw the low belly in. Inhale, bend the knees, but keep the core lifted. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Awesome sauce. Last time, inhale, curl forward through the spine, reach back through your heels, lift up through the thighs. Exhale, scoop the belly, press the floor away. Yep. Inhale, bend the knees, but keep the spine exactly as it is. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Continue to lift up through those inner armpits so they come towards the sky and away from the floor. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Pause here. Exhale, knee to nose. Go ahead and step that right foot between your hands. Pause here. Reach back through that left heel a lot. Lift up through the inner left thigh and reach your heart and sternum forward. Nice work. As you're ready, you might just lower your back knee to the floor. Yep. And then once you do that, push down into the front foot, push down into the back knee and start to suck those points together. Walk your hands up the front thigh and bring your spine up to vertical. Now we're going to go ahead and reach our arms out and up. And I want you to interlace your thumbs. Now when you interlace your thumbs, pull your hands apart. Draw your front ribs back and push down into your back knee. It's almost like you want to look down your chest towards your pubic bone. And I want you to see if you can keep pulling that back knee forward, the front foot back. We'll take a big breath in here. As you exhale, cactus the arms and lift the heart. And we'll do 4 of these. So inhale, arms reach up, maybe thumbs hook, maybe they don't. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades on the back, draw the elbows down. Great, you've got 2 more on your own. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the heart space. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending the elbows. Awesome sauce. Go ahead and bring the hands down to the floor. Straighten the back leg, reach your heart and sternum forward. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, plant the palms and step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Notice what you notice. And then this time, before we go on to the next side, I'd like you to bend your knees a lot. This is going to sound super weird. Keep your spine and your shoulders as they are, but turn both knees over to the left, both heels over to the right. Great. Keep pushing down into both hands. See if you can draw your right hip even more towards the left and find a fun stretch happening in your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center, both knees. And then exhale, knees over to the right, heels over to the left, push down and forward to that right hand a lot. Draw that right hip up and back, the left hip under, say hello, latissimus dorsi. Inhale, come back in through center. I know, isn't this really horrible? Exhale, go to the other side, but you'll feel so much better in a minute. So the more you can push down and forward with that left hand, the right hip swims under. You'll find a nice stretch along the shoulder blade. Inhale, come back through center. And then exhale, go to the other side. And again, you don't need a gold star from me. Who cares? You're just feeling what's happening on the inside of you. And the next in-breath, you'll come back to your center and say, thank God that's done. Lower your knees to the mat for a moment and sit up tall on your shins. You can just sit here for a moment and we're going to see what's happening as we go through our wrists to make sure they're okay. Was that fun? Did we find that fun little stretch up here? Isn't that hilarious? All right, let's go ahead and come forward, hands and knees, and we'll try the other side. So once you come forward, hands and knees, you'll tuck the toes under, lift the hips high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And again, you're just noticing where the breath is. And yep, if you want to preset that blanket for the other side, you are more than happy to do that. Otherwise, we're going to inhale here, and you're going to exhale here. And then next in breath, let's inhale, lift your left leg up and back. And then exhale, step that foot forward between your hands. Now, before you lower the back knee down, I want you to see if you can reach back through that right inner thigh a lot. And then almost like you're pulling the knees apart, lower the back knee to the floor. There we go. Then start to walk the hands up the front thigh, push down into your left foot, push down into your right knee, suck those points together to draw a little bit more of your tailbone down. Yep. Then inhale, sweep your arms out and up and overhead. As you're ready, hook the thumbs, pull your hands apart, your thumbs apart, and then see if you can look down the chest towards your pubic bone. Draw that back knee forward, the front knee back, and see if we can find the top of our psoas as we're doing that. Nice job. And then we've got 4 of these. Relax your face. Inhale, lift up through your arms, and then exhale, cactus the arms, hug the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the heart. And then inhale, lift the arms high. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, hug the legs, bend the elbows. Yep. Inhale, lift the arms high. Exhale, hug the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Last time. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, squeeze the elbows. Nice job, guys. Bring your hands down to the floor or your blocks. Straighten the back leg long. Take a moment to pause here. As you exhale, plant your palms and go ahead and step that left foot back to meet your right, downward facing dog. Awesome sauce. As you're ready, inhale, curl your bum forward into plank pose, fallen kasana. Let's pause here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, lift your inner thighs. Exhale, scoop your low belly. Nice job. Last breath cycle here. Inhale, sternum and heart reach forward, tailbone reach back. Yep. Exhale, low belly draws in. Nice work. Next in breath, shift your weight forward as you're ready. Exhale, lower down in one piece. Nice work, guys. Great. Now, when you get down, reposition your hands for you so they're roughly in line with your nipple line. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. Now, this is going to sound really super weird, but I want you to push down into your hands, all 10 fingers, and feel like you're a little kid sliding your chest forward on the floor. Yep. Then from there, reach back through the toes, lift up through the pubic bone, belly button area, and then hug the shoulder blades onto the back. Now that sliding action happens again. So you'll pull your heart forward to come up, and you can come as high as you want into your cobra, but you're almost pulling your chest forward before you come up. Yep, nice job, guys. Next, exhale, lower all the way down. Tuck the toes under, straighten the legs long. Inhale, come up through plank or modified plank, your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Now, if you'd like, you can stay here in stillness, or you could go back to that weird swivel of the hips that we did a little bit before, but you're just paying attention to what feels good to you. So there's no gold star that you need to get that's worth more than the gold star that you can give yourself for living in a life of integrity, for feeling like you are doing the best to be the best version of you, both in your job, in your life, in your relationships with yourself. And so as you take these last 2 breath cycles, you're just finding the ability to keep pace with what feels authentic for you. All right, let's go ahead and come to stillness. Let's move on. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. As you exhale, empty the belly completely and step or float top of space. Awesome sauce. Once you get there, I encourage you to bend one knee and then the other. And you might just swivel around in the hips and say, hello, hamstrings. What are you doing today? Awesome sauce. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy, Barbara? And then once you feel like you're pretty okay for now, you'll go ahead and come to stillness. I know that's not going to be perfect, so we're just going to work with that. Bring your hands to the fronts of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, scoop the belly, fold all the way in. And you've got 3 more of those. And we're just sort of acclimating our blood so we don't have like high blood pressure, and so that we don't get dizzy when we stand up. So that's all we're doing with this. So you're just taking 2 more to inhale, halfway lift, find some length through the vertebra, and exhale, fold all the way in. And then here's our last one. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold in. Awesome sauce. So this next time you come up to halfway lift, we're going to pause there. Now, once you're here, I want you to push your hands back into your shins, and then I want you to push your shins forward into your hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to send your pubic bone back and blossom through your buttocks. Yep. From there, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Yeah. Draw your chin towards your sternum. Yep. And your sternum forward to your chin. Yeah. Take another breath in here. As you exhale, bring one hand to one hip, the other hand to the other hip. Make sure you don't hyperextend those knees so your weight is still coming forward. And then bend your knees slightly, come all the way up to stand. Awesome sauce. Press down into your pelvis, lift up through your sternum and lift up through your crown. Nice job. Okay, gently release your hands. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus the elbows, bend the knees, little chair pose. So this is really weird. It's almost like we're doing a pull-up. Yep, back and arch. And we've got 4 of these. Inhale, come up. And exhale, butt goes back, heart goes forward, knees bend. Yep, inhale up. 2 more. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale up. And exhale, bend the elbows. Awesome sauce. So we're going to stay here for a moment. Interlace your hands at the back of your head. And bring the heels of the hands to the back of your head. Push your head back into the heels of your hands. Push your head forward into your hands. Keep pushing into your big toe mounds and push wide through your feet. Then you'll see if you can lift your heart up. And then you'll see if you can draw your pubic bone up. Yep, and then you'll see if you can lift your heart up. And you'll see if you can draw your pubic bone up. Nice job. Take 1 more breath. As you exhale, press the floor away, lift the heart, drop the tail, lift the heart, drop the tail, lift the heart. Nice job. Next, exhale, start to hinge at the hips, bend the knees as much as you need to, come forward into that forward fold. Now, as you've got your 3 breath cycles here, you might keep your hands at the back of your head and then take little mini halfway lifts. So you push your head into your hands and just micro lift the spine, and then exhale, fold it in and find a little bit more depth. And you've got 3 more of those. And it literally can be about 2 inches. It can be a little bit higher. We're trying to find some engagement in the upper back. And so you're pushing your hands into your head into your hands, and we're finding all that fun stuff happening in the upper back, and you're breathing. And then after this next one, you'll gently release your hands down to the floor or your blocks, your choice. And then bend your right knee a lot. Draw your left heel towards your left butt cheek. Almost like a one-legged bird or something. The next in-breath, go ahead and kick your left leg back so it's parallel to the floor. So we're in a modified standing split, and you're just keeping that right knee as bent as you need to. Next, exhale, reach the left toes back, put the left foot on the floor and find your low lunge position. Awesome sauce. Take a moment to pause here. Push down into your front foot, hug the outer right hip back and lift up through that inner left thigh. Next, in breath, root down through your left hand, reach your right arm up towards the sky, little revolution. And again, we want to see if we can squeeze and lift that back thigh, push down through the left hand and rotate the right ribs up. Yep, take a nice breath here. Is that okay, Barbara? Okay. Next, exhale, lower that right hand to the floor. Hands might come to blocks at this point or not. It's totally up to you, but you're going to step your back foot in just a smidge and spin it down for warrior one. And so we want to have a long warrior one, and we're going to pause here. Push down through that back pinky toe, that back outer edge of your foot. Draw that outer right hip back, and then reach your heart and sternum forward. Next, exhale, scoop your belly away from your front thigh. And then see if you can inhale and lift your spine so it's at a one long diagonal from your head to your butt, through your shoulders, through your back, heel, arms, swim back. Nice job, guys. Next, in breath, spine comes up to vertical. Next, exhale, push the floor away, scoop the low belly in. Nice work. Inhale, reach your arms out and up and overhead, Virabhadrasana 1. Now we're going to do a crazy thing here. You're going to exhale and bend your elbows. Then you're going to squeeze them together like you're doing, I don't know, a chest press or something. Your left elbow is going to swim underneath your right, and your right is going to swim on top. Now I want you to perhaps double wrap the arms, or maybe they just are there, or maybe they're just here. But you're going to push down through the back foot a lot. You're going to see if you can swim that outer left hip forward and let the right knee come forward. Now, if you'd like, you'll just hinge forward until you're in one diagonal from your head, through your shoulders, through your hips, through your back heel, and you'll just pause and you'll breathe and you'll notice what you notice. On your next exhale, curl in a little bit further. Release your hands down to the floor or the blocks. Pivot to the ball of your back foot, and then plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog pose. Pause here. Nice job. Option to stay right here, or you'll inhale, come forward into plank. You'll exhale, you'll cycle through your cobra or your up dog, your choice. And then you'll inhale and you'll exhale back to downward facing dog. And you've got 3 steady breaths. What are the things that are really super duper important to you, and how do you keep pace with those? How do you allow yourself to let go of the perfection that might be deemed necessary, and those are in air quotes, by society at large, so that you can keep pace with the things that provide meaning to you, provide fulfillment, provide joy, excitement, connection? You got 2 breath cycles here. How do you connect to your own breath, your own being, your own heart, your own life? That literally is the question. All right, let's go ahead and inhale. Gaze forward. As you exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, step or float, top of space, bloop. Hooray! All right, once you get there, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold all the way in. Okay, this next time, I want you to bring your hands to the outer edges of your shin bones. Push your palms into your shins, push your shins out into your palms, push your big toes down a lot. Inhale, lift your spine halfway. As you exhale, start to bend your knees, push your hands out or hands into your shins, shins out into your hands, bend your knees until your spine feels like it's parallel-ish to the floor. Bring your hands to heart center. Next in-breath, bend the knees even more, draw the knees forward and your sternum up, and we're sitting in Utkatasana. Nice job. Inhale, release the arms out and up and overhead. Take a big breath here. Take a big breath out. Low belly draws in. Next inhalation, push down, reach up, stand up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Soften the gaze or close the eyes and take a moment to breathe. Notice the connection of the weight from your pelvis through your heels. Notice the extension through your crown. How does it feel to be integrated, to be in a state of integrity for you? That's literally all that we're asking. Well, I ask a lot, but that's one of the things we're asking. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Nice work. Okay, hands on blocks or floor, your choice. Shift all the weight over to the other leg. So now the weight is going to come to the left leg. Draw your right heel towards your tuchus. Flex through that foot a lot. Then when you're ready, inhale, kick the foot straight back, lifting through that inner thigh. Nice job. Take a breath here. As you exhale, you'll step that foot confidently back into the unknown. Hooray. And we're going to start by just being in that low lungy position first. So you're going to reach back through that right foot, lifting through the inner right heel, drawing that outer left hip back and lifting up through that inner right thigh. Nice job. Now from there, you can choose to stay there if you'd like. Otherwise, you'll inhale, reach your heart and sternum forward. As you exhale, push down into the right hand, spin the left hand to the left and up towards the sky. And we've got about 2.5/3 breath cycles here. So you want to see if you can find length on your underside. That's the right side. Yep. So it comes forward and the right ribs come in towards the inner left thigh. Yep. And you're lifting up through that left arm. Nice work, guys. On your next exhale, that left hand will swim down to the floor or the blocks. You might step your back foot in a bit and spin the foot down for Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. And then you're going to pause. You press down like crazy through your right pinky toes. You draw your outer left hip back. Yep. And then inhale, reach the heart and sternum forward just a bit. Exhale, scoop the belly away from the thighs. Swim the arms back towards your hips and see if you can lift your spine in one diagonal from head through shoulders, through hips, through heel. Next in breath, spine comes up to vertical. Awesome sauce. Nice job. Yep, there you go, Roberta. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up and overhead. And then as you exhale, happy cactus of those elbows. And then this time, bench press arms together, thigh master for your arms. I don't know where I'm coming up with that. And your right elbow will swim underneath your left. I know, right? It's not wrong. It is a thigh master for your arms. Okay. And then you're going to press those elbows towards each other. And you can stay vertical if you'd like, or you can start to come forward for that 90-degree angle. That's not right math. But you're going to make a diagonal from your back heel through the hips, lifting the ribs up, pressing the elbows forward and finding, yeah, there you go, finding more space. On your next exhale, the hands, or you'll fold in a little bit more, then you'll release your hands down to the floor. Pivot to the ball of your back foot, step yourself back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, option to stay right here or cycle through cobra or up dog. But again, your task is to keep pace for you. What is it that helps you feel like there's meaning and purpose and connection? What are the things that feel like you're just doing them because somebody else told you to do them? Great. And you've just got 2 more breath cycles doing whatever you're doing. So if you're hanging out in down dog, great. If you're hanging out in child's pose, great. You're just connecting to whatever is feeling great to you. And then those are in child's pose, please come back to down dog. From down dog, we'll go ahead and take a big breath in and a big breath out. Nice job. Next inhalation, gaze towards your hands. As you exhale, empty the belly, step or float, top of space. Bloop. Yay, good job. From here, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold in. Next in breath, chair pose, but we're going to build it from the ground up. So bend the knees, reach the heart and sternum forward, and then you'll start to either reach the arms forward to come up, or hands will come to heart center, or hands will swim back. But you will bring the hands wherever it works for you, and then bring the spine up to vertical. And then you're going to pause, and you've got 3 breaths here. How do you sit with yourself? Haha, there's a good metaphor. And so you're going to push down through your big toes. That's the internal line of engagement. You're going to push out through the pinky toes. You're going to scoop your pubic bone up, lift up through your pinky fingers if the arms are up and overhead-ish. And if the hands are at heart center, just lift your sternum into your thumbs. Nice job. Next inhalation, stand up, reach up, potentially look up, tailbone drops down. And then exhale, hands through heart center, soften and close the gaze. Take a moment to check in. How do you sit with yourself? How do you stand with yourself? What are the things that help you feel integrated? Awesome sauce. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Inhale, circle sweep the arms. I know I should never preface anything that way. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Okay, now I encourage you to keep your fingertips on the blocks or floor, but you choose whatever works for you. Inhale, bend your knees quite a bit, reach your butt back, blossom through those buttocks, and reach your crown and sternum forward. Next exhale, hands will now come to heart center. Now as you inhale, bend the knees once again and lift your spine to vertical. So we're back to that chair pose. This time we're going to inhale, circle sweep the arms out and up. And just as we just did, exhale, cactus the elbows. Now our left arm is going to swim under, our right arm is going to swim on top. Maybe backs of palms touch, maybe fronts of palms touch. We're going to see if we can stay low in our legs and start to lift your left heel. Maybe start to lift your left leg up and maybe just slide it over, and maybe the left toes touch the floor on the right side. And if that's where you're at, you stay right there. Maybe the foot lifts and maybe it tucks behind the back of that right calf. But again, we're just staying where we're at. Nice job finding that integration from inside. As you're ready, you'll gently release the left toes. You'll replant your left foot, and then we're going to push down through the legs, push the elbows forward, drop your tailbone, and start to lift the heart just a smidge as the elbows come forward. Next, exhale, bend the knees a little bit, scoop the belly, hinge at the hips, come all the way back down. Now, once you get down, you unwind the arms, of course, and then inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold all the way in. And we're going to do that on the other side. So inhale, bend the knees, fingertips touch the floor, little football player pose. Exhale, hands come to heart center, bottom buttocks blossom back. Inhale, bend the knees, heart lifts, sternum lifts. And then exhale, see if you can keep pushing through the feet as you lift the heart. Here we go. Inhale, circle sweep arms out and up. Are we breathing? Exhale, cactus the arms. This time, right arm swims underneath, left arm on top. Great, maybe double wrap the arms. Stay low in the legs. If you need to stay here, you stay here. Otherwise, you might lift the right heel. You might even lift the right thigh and maybe touch the right toes to the left side of you. Maybe the toes will stay there. Maybe they'll hook behind the back of the left calf. But wherever you are, just pausing and you're breathing. And when you're ready to come out, you'll gently release the right toes back to the left. You'll release the right foot next to its mate. Now push down through the feet, drop through the tailbone, scoop the pubic bone, lift the elbows, lift the sternum, lift the heart. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, slight bend of the knees, long spine folds in. Nice work, guys. Awesome sauce. Let's go ahead and add on. Highly encourage hands to blocks. You do whatever works for you. Draw your left heel towards your left butt, flex through that foot a lot. Inhale, start to kick that foot straight back. Push down into your right foot. Draw that outer right hip back and reach your heart and sternum forward. On your next exhale, bend your front knee, step the back foot long and back. Awesome sauce. Take a moment here to spin your left foot completely to the floor for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Awesome sauce. Now, as you push down into that back foot, draw the outer right hip back and then reach your left arm back. Bring your spine up for Warrior 2. Left arm back. Yeah, nice job. Now, once we're vertical, I want you to adjust your position as you need to so your sacrum, that sacred bone, feels really okay to you. The sacrum is really interesting. Some say it's the last bone to leave when the body decomposes. That's very strange and metaphorical, but it's also kind of interesting because they also say from spiritual traditions that it's the first bone to come. So I don't know if that's actually anatomically true, but it's a fun concept. So you're going to push that right outer thigh out. You're going to push down into that left foot, and you're going to find where your sacrum feels like it is honored, where it feels like your core is true and essence. That's verbiage. Okay, next in breath, let's go ahead and straighten your front leg long. As you exhale, reach forward, out, and down through that right hand and lower it to the block or floor inside or outside of your foot, whatever feels best to you. Now keep that left hand next to your left hip for a moment. And then you'll inhale and reach your left arm up and over your head alongside your ears. And you'll exhale and swim it back. And you've got 4 of these. So 3 more on your own. Inhaling, sweeping the arm up and overhead, slight bend in front knee. Yep, exhale, shifting it back. And we're just seeing how this goes. Do you notice what's happening on your left side body as the arm goes up and overhead? Do you notice how you can take in a deeper breath as the arm moves? Do you notice how much your legs are working? The next time that left arm is up and overhead, you'll just stay there for 3 breath cycles. And you might choose to keep the arm here. You might reach it straight up towards the sky, but you've got 3 breath cycles to just see how it feels good to you. Right ribs pull under, left ribs reach up. Nice job. On your next in breath, turn your gaze to the floor, bend your front knee, reach back through your back arm, come up to warrior 2 once again. Yeah, buddy people, good job. Now as you're ready, you'll reach forward through that right arm once again and take extended side angle. This time, see if you can draw the hand to the floor or the block. Yep, and you'll just see how that goes. And then reach that left arm up and alongside your ears. And again, you'll take 3 breaths here. How can you draw that outer left hip forward, that outer right hip back? Lift up through that inner left thigh and just take a moment to pause and a moment to breathe. Nice job, guys. As you're ready, go ahead and spin that top arm to the floor, come to a low lunge, pause. Now, some of you may need to walk your front foot back towards your back foot a little bit, but some of you might be able to just spin both toes to the right. So you'll roll to the knife edge of the left foot. You'll roll the right foot towards the right. So both feet roll towards the right. Awesome. And then you'll push down into that left arm and reach up through the right. Awesome. And see if you can keep that inner left thigh active. So you're pushing back through the back toe, you're lifting up. Nice work. As you're ready, pivot back to a low lunge, lowering the hand to the floor, step yourself back, this time 3-legged dog. So right leg lifts up and back. You'll pause here. You'll lift up through the right heel, push down through the left. As you're ready, lower that foot to the floor. Take a moment to pause in down dog or cycle through cobra or up dog, your choice. You can also hang out in child's pose for a few breaths, but you've got 3 breath cycles to do whatever is feeling of service to you, whatever is helping you feel connected to you. Awesome sauce. And then once we're complete, we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Nice job. Let's go ahead and move on and we'll try the other side. So when you're ready, you'll inhale, gaze forward. You'll exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, step or float, top of space. Take a moment to pause here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Okay, slow ascent. Inhale, halfway lift, hands push into shins, shins push into hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to send your pubic bone back and your sternum forward. Scoop the low belly in. Yep, draw the shoulder blades onto your back and then draw your hands to your hips. Slight bend in the knees and inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, push down into the pelvis, root down through the legs, lift up through this crown. Nice job. All right, last set. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold in. Hands on floor or blocks, your choice. Draw the weight to your left foot, draw your right heel to your pelvis. Really squeeze the foot towards your butt, flex through the foot, and then as you're ready, you'll inhale and kick the leg straight back. Pause here, take a big breath in. Next exhale, bend the left knee even more, reach the right foot back, plant the foot on the floor. Awesome sauce. From here, let's go ahead and spin that back foot to the floor and position it where you will need it for warrior 2. And then to come up, first we're going to root in our feet. So you're going to make sure your right foot is pushing down, your left foot is pushing down. And then as you're ready to come up, you'll reach back through your right arm to reach you up to warrior 2. Yeah. And then adjust. How do you need to position this so it feels good to you? Do you need to widen the feet? Do you need to narrow the feet? Do you need to move your hippie doodles around? You give yourself permission to be in alignment with what feels good to you. There are no gold stars that you need to earn from anybody other than you. And our bodies are really smart in telling us when we're out of alignment. They hurt, they whack out, they do all these crazy things. All right. Let's go ahead and inhale, straighten that front leg long. As you exhale, reach forward, out and down. Uttita Trikonasana, fingers to shin, block, or floor. Keeping that right hand next to your right hip for just a moment. And then we'll take 4 sets of these inhales, sweeping that arm up and over your head. And exhale, swimming it back. Now, as you take these 3, maybe your gaze follows that top arm. Maybe the belly draws in on the exhale and the right ribs come back, the left ribs spin under. Well, falling over is okay. It's all part of the process, you know. Sometimes you got to fall out of something to know it's not working for you, or at least give you permission to say it's not working for you. Okay, the next time you get into Uttita Trikonasana with the arm overhead, you'll pause for 3 breaths, and maybe the arm stays over your head, maybe it reaches up. But we want to keep the legs active, so you're pressing from your left sit bone up to your left big toe. You're pressing down onto the right pinky toe, and you're seeing if you can find length in your undercarriage on the left side. So it feels like your left armpit is going forward, your left hip is going back, and the ribs are rotating under. Awesome sauce. Next in breath, bring your gaze down to the floor, bend the front knee, reach back through the back arm, come up to Virabhadrasana 2. Awesome sauce. Now from here, take a moment to establish yourself, and then you'll inhale, reach out through that left arm, left fingers to floor or block, right arm swims alongside your ears. Continue to draw your outer left hip back a lot. That's nice, Roberta. Press down through your right foot and then see if those right ribs can wrap under. Yep. On your next in breath, the gaze will come down to the floor. You'll spin to a low lunge facing the top of your space, and then spin both sets of toes over to the left. So you're on the outside edge of your right foot, your left toes spin over to the left, and then you'll lift up through your left arm. And we want to see if we can lift our under hips up, so our adductors, yep, have to work. And then when you're ready, you'll lower that top arm to the floor, pivot back to a low lunge, push down through the hands, swing your left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And you'll pause there for a moment. As you're ready, you'll complete that lowering down to down dog. And then you can cycle through or not, but we're all going to meet in child's pose. So you figure out how you wish to get there. So you figure out how you wish to get there. Then I want you to take 3 breaths. I think the funny thing, or at least the thing that's coming to mind for me at this moment, is this notion that, what if we allowed ourselves to be in the world as we perceive ourselves to be? Meaning, we all have our private selves that we are when we think no one is watching, when no one is around. What might we gain if we allowed more of that self to show up? I think that might eliminate some of the pressure of trying to be perfect or trying to be a particular way. And it would enable us to keep pace with the things that really are of importance to us, that light us up, that spark funness in us. So to that end, you can choose to stay right here. Otherwise, you'll come forward to forearms and knees. When you come to forearms and knees, let's take prayer pose. So I want you to push your palms into each other, and you're not going to clasp the fingers for today. You'll walk your elbows in just slightly of your shoulders, and then you'll push down into the forearms until your skin grabs your sticky mat Then tuck your chin to your chest, round through your spine like angry little Halloween cats. They're not angry, they're just Halloween cats. And then you'll tuck your toes under, you'll lift your hips high, and you'll start to come forward into dolphin pose. But again, we're lifting our happy inner armpits. That looks nice, Barbara. Our little armpits up. Good job, Roberta. Good job, Jenny. And you're just walking your feet as far in as you like. Nice, Julie. Julie, push down through your forearms even more. You too, Robin. That's looking good. Lift up through your inner armpits. Jason, that looks good. Nice job. And then when you are ready to come out of this, you will soften your knees back to the floor and you'll come back to Balasana, child's pose once again. And you'll just notice how that feels, how you feel, how that went. And this time, when you do come back to child's pose, I encourage you to swing the arms back so they're alongside your hips. And you'll just pause and you'll breathe and you'll notice what you notice. Awesome sauce. Okay, let's go ahead and bring your hands under your shoulders. Push into the floor, bring your spine up to vertical, and you're just going to pause here for a moment. If you need to sit on something, you sit on something. Otherwise, you can stay just right on your shins. And then you're going to bring your hands slightly back behind you. Fingertips still pointing forward. Hug your shoulder blades towards each other. And this is just like little flapper girl chest. So you're not doing anything other than just lifting the heart, drawing your sternum towards your chin, and maybe softening or closing the gaze like the sun is kissing your face. You're out in a nice, beautiful day. All of you can shine forward and through. There's nothing that really has to happen. Awesome sauce. Gently release that, and then you're going to come forward onto your abdomen. Now, I do encourage you, if you have anything immediately next to your arms, you might want to move that. We're just going to do some things to stabilize our spine before we finish up. Okay, so let's bring our hands onto our sacrum, palms face up. Great. And you're just going to alternate with these. So you'll inhale, lift your right leg and your left arm, bringing the left hand to salute in front of you, lifting spine up. And then exhale, swim that arm back, lower the foot, bring the palm down. And then you'll try that on the other side. Inhale, left leg, right arm, little navy salute. And exhale, swim it back, lower it down. And you've got 3 more sets. So that counted as 1 set. So you'll do that 3 more times each side. And you're just lifting as high or not as you wish to. And we're just trying to get the back muscles to say hello, happy days. We did all these things working us today. Yep. And make sure you're still moving with your breath. So the inhale lifts the limbs and the chest. The exhale places everything back to the floor. And after you've done 4 sets, so 4 times each side, you can either rest or you can lift all of your limbs up and hold for about 4 breath cycles. And I do encourage, if you're lifting all limbs up, if it's a lot, your arms will just swim back. If the arms are forward, it's a lot. So you just choose what works best for you. And you've got 3 breath cycles. And you've got 2 breath cycles. And you've got 1 breath cycle. And you'll lower down. You'll just take a moment to pause, and you'll take a moment to breathe. And then just notice how we can let ourselves alone a little bit. Find a sense of connection with the rhythm of life, the rhythm of who we are as we are unfolding. All right. Let's go ahead and plant our hands underneath our shoulders and press ourselves up to sit. When you come up to sit, you'll cross your ankles and put your butt on the floor and bring your ankles in front of you. Okay. So I do encourage us to take Sukhasana by trying to see if we can get our ankles underneath our knees. And sometimes this hurts my ankle, so I have to put something underneath there. So if that's you, great. We're going to take our left hand over to our right knee. Wow. Okay. Your right hand over to your left knee. Left hand behind you. Push down into your backhand, your left hand lift up through your heart. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly on the left side and gently rotate to the right. And I want you to close your eyes for this. So I don't care how far you twist. I want you to twist from the internal landscape. So, you can pull back isometrically with that right hand and feel what that does to the right shoulder. You can pull the low belly on the left side and just do a gentle rotation, seeing how this feels. And then after the next exhalation, you'll gently unwind as you inhale and come back to center. And then keep the eyes closed, the gaze soft, and we'll take that to the other side. So the right hand will come to the outside of the right hip. The left hand will come to the outside edge of the right knee. And you'll inhale and lift up first, and then exhale, just let the unwinding happening from the inside. So what feels good internally? Sometimes in order for us to connect with our own internal rhythm, we have to shut out some of the external stimulus. That's all you're doing now. You're seeing what feels good to you, maybe isometrically pulling back with that left hand to see what happens in the left shoulder blade region. And then gently you'll inhale and unwind and come back through center. Now, for this last little thing, I will encourage you to start to hinge at your hips and walk forward. And you might need to bring your elbows, forearms onto the blocks. You might walk your forearms, elbows down to the floor, but you're just going to take a moment to pause and breathe and see what's happening in your outer hips. See what's happening in your lower back. Letting yourself just let go and breathe here for about 2 to 3 breaths. We're not going to stay here long. You're just noticing what's happening in the body in this more internalized space. And then at the end of your next exhalation, you'll gently release the hands down, push your spine up to vertical. Take a moment to soften the gaze, keep the awareness internal, and seeing if that heart can lift just again, like we did when we were sitting, imagining the sun was kissing our chest. Great. As you're ready, you'll switch the cross of your ankles and you'll fold in once again. And again, this side might be different. This side might be the exact same. That's a-okay either way. And you're just going to pause and you're going to breathe. What do you notice about your own internal state of being when you give yourself permission to keep the pace that's the best for you? When you give yourself permission not to be perfect in all aspects, all facets of your life. You got 2 more breath cycles here. At the end of your next exhalation, you'll gently start to walk the spine back up to vertical. And then again, take a moment to sit tall and well, the heart space lifted forward and up, the crown lifting up, finding a sense of stability in the legs, in the pelvis, in the hips. Nice. All right. So when you're ready, you'll gently open your gaze. You'll remove whatever props are in front of you, and then you'll spin around, face the back of your space, and slowly lay down. And before we go anywhere, I want you to just take a moment to lay down on the floor and see what feels like it might still be talking to you. And you'll take a moment if you need to be still, and then do some final shape or shapes that feel like they might help you unwind before our final resting pose. And for some of us, Supta Baddha Konasana might feel nice. Sukhi Randrasana figure 4 might feel nice. Maybe a few more gentle twists might feel nice. But you're giving yourself permission to do whatever feels good to you. So it doesn't matter what the external shape looks like. It doesn't matter what the external demands might be. It's How about how you are experiencing your body, your being, your breath at this moment? And then wherever you are, the ask is how can you let go of any of that external holding? So it might creep up around the shoulders, the jaw, the hips, or the abdomen. Nice work, guys. And if you haven't already wrapped yourselves, you might choose to wrap yourself. And then we'll make our way into our final resting pose when you feel ready to make your way there. And I would encourage us all today to take Supta Baddha Konasana if that feels great to you. If that does not feel great to you, by all means, do whatever feels better. I just want you to pick a position where you feel like you are able to let go of the striving, let go of the need to effort or do anything. And so, as long as your body feels warm and supported, that will generally help with that. Okay. So the first thing that we'll do once we're in our final shape is I want you to take a few moments to see if you need to fidget around. Does your right butt cheek feel even to your left? Does your right shoulder feel even to your left? Does it feel like there's this equal weight? And then once you feel like you've adjusted, our next task will be to see if we can just quickly take a body scan and notice any parts where the body might feel tight, where the body might feel open, where it might feel constricted, where it might feel free. You're just noticing whatever is present and happening right now in your body without the need to do anything about it. You're just observing it. And then as soon as you've done that, I want you to notice where your breath is. Where is your breath in your body? What does it feel like? How fast is it moving? How slow is it moving? For today, our task is to simply see if you can bring your mind to follow the movement of your breath. So as you rest here, your mind can become anchored to the breath. And if you notice yourself getting caught in thoughts or anything, you just find the breath and ask the mind to follow the breath. We'll go ahead and be here for a few more moments, and when it's time to come out, I'll let you know. Gently return your awareness. And just take a moment to check in. Notice what you notice. If there's any part of you that longs to linger in this shape, by all means, please stay here. When you are ready to awaken, you'll allow small movement to enter into your physical form in whatever way feels good to you. Those in movement, if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you'll use your hands to close your legs together like a book. And then potentially you might stretch and wiggle and yawn as though you're waking up for the first time today. Gently, you'll make your way over to one of your sides, and you'll pause there for about 2 to 3 breath cycles. Gently, you'll start to roll your chest more towards the floor, press into the top hand, and release the bottom. So draw your spine up to vertical, and I encourage you to take a moment to sit tall and to sit well. And then still with the awareness inward or the gaze down, I want you to just find what vertical feels like in your spine, where it feels like your heart is open and buoyant. It feels like the shoulder blades are just sliding down the back. And you'll just take 3 deep breaths here. Take breath in through the nose, audible breath out through the mouth. Yep, and 2 more just like that. Last one. From here, plant your right hand on your heart. Stack your left hand right on top of it. Gently press the hands into the chest, lift the chest into the hands. And just see if you can feel your heart pressing into your sternum, pushing into your hands, if you can sense your own heartbeat. This is our own internal metronome. This is our own pace maker, literally. It tells us when we're on track, it tells us when we're being pushed too hard or not really living up to our full potential. This is the only thing that matters. The external world, it'll tell us we're doing great. It'll tell us we're not doing great. It'll tell us everything in between. But what is this telling you? How can we give ourselves permission to listen to this above all else? And how can we give ourselves permission to tune in and listen to this guidance? I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up today, for giving yourself the opportunity to listen a little bit more to the space between and below your hands. We'll end our practice with a collective breath, followed by a collective Om. Go ahead and bring hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gently press the palms into each other. Receive the weight of the thumbs into the sternum and lift your heart towards your hands. Gently exhale all the breath from your mouth. Take a big breath in. Audible breath out. Inhale for Om. Join if you'd like. Om. To that light, to that breath, and to that sound we bow. Namaste.